Taye woke up to darkness and the heavy pressure of water all around him. His lungs pumped, but he was not drowning. He couldn't breathe, though every breath felt borrowed, as though the river decided whether he lived or died. Once upon a time, in the quiet city of Ilaro, Abeokuta, there lived a young man and his widowed mother. They were not rich, but they lived fairly, like most of the townspeople. Since his father died 10 years ago, his mother has raised him with strength and tenderness. She called him Aridunumi, my joy, my laughter in sorrow. Like every other weekend, they went to the river to wash their clothes alongside other villagers. The river was the heart of Ilaro, where women washed, where children swam, where men gathered to talk about politics and debts. It was a place of life, of gossip, of laughter. That day, the sky was bright. The trees whispered with the wind. The birds filled the air with their usual chorus. Taye, 21 and strong, bent beside his mother, raising clothes as she scrubbed them. The voice of the villagers rose in the background. Children splashing, women gossiping, men laughing. It was a picture of peace. Then suddenly, the river fell silent. The leaves stopped moving. The birds cut off mid-song. The villagers froze, their bodies stiff, their voice cut short. Only Taye remained standing. His heart thundered. He could feel the weight of silence pressing on his chest. His eyes darted left, right, but no one moved. Then with a violent surge, the river rose. A force unseen like hands of water wrapped around him. Before he could shout, it pulled him under, dragged him deep into the dark belly of the river. The spell broke. The villagers screamed, mothers clutched their children, men stumbled backward, fleeing in panic. Some half-dressed, some barefoot, all running with one thought: the river goddess has taken another. No, not after the appeasement, not again. Voices cried as the river foamed, but one cry called through them all: his mother's. She fell to the ground, clawing the earth, wailing into the heavens. Eba mi gbomo mi, Aridunumi, where is my son? My womb has been wounded. A scream echoed through Ilaro, a sound of raw grief that pierced every home. The villagers whispered in fear: the river goddess have not forgiven them. The water pressed against Taye's skin like shins. He floated, yet he could not move freely. Around him, the other boys, face pale, eyes hollow, drifted in silence. Some looked broken, others empty, as if their souls had been drained. The river goddess have moved, her eyes large, glowing in the darkness. You do not belong to your world anymore. Here you will serve me. Here you will be mine. Her words pierced his mind. Though her lips barely moved, she circled him slowly, like a hunter admiring its catch. Taye's chest rose and fell with shallow breath, his mind racing. He thought of his mother and laughed when she called him Aridunumi. Her hands raw from years of washing clothes, her voice praying for him all night. If he gave in, she would lose him. If he refused, the goddess had promised she would die. His heart shook, fear pressed in. In the shallows, one of the boys whispered, barely audible, "Do not answer. Once you say yes, you are lost forever." Taye turned sharply, but the boy's face was blank. His eyes glared as if he was speaking from somewhere far away. The river's daughter snapped her hand towards the whisperer. With a flick of her hand, the boy's body dissolved into foam, vanishing before Taye's eyes. Her gaze turned back to him. Choose carefully, Taye. Back in Ilaro, the widow wandered the village streets barefoot, her wrapper soaked in tears. She wailed through every alley, calling her son's name: Aridunumi, bring back my joy, Ilaro. Return my son to me, Taye. The villagers avoided her eyes. Some shut their doors, others whispered. She has joined the line of weeping mothers. Another son swallowed. The goddess is not satisfied. By nightfall, her cries became worse. She sat at the threshold of her hut, clutching Taye's old sandal to her chest. She did not eat, did not sleep. Her heart beat only with grief. Women gathered around her, trying to console her, but she pushed them away. Do you know what it means for your womb to be robbed? For your holy child to vanish like you while you watch? And it's vanished before your very eyes. My heart is bleeding, my spirit is breaking. And neighbors bowed their head in silence. No words could soothe her. And in the stillness of the night, she swore she heard his voice. In her dreams, distant, muffled, calling, Mama, Mama. She spoke. She woke screaming, trembling, clutching the mat as if the rivers itself has reached into her heart. Taye floated in the strange current, but the soul felt heavier with every passing moment. The glow of the river started to lift up the depth, her beauty both mesmerizing and terrifying. She stared at him without blinking. Her large eyes pulled at him as though they were pierced straight into his heart. Around him, the boys drifted silently. Some had tears struck that shimmered like salt against their pale face. Others looked as though they no longer remembered their names. A voice drifted past him, low, mournful. We are sons taken. We are mothers' tears. We are the depths of Ilaro. Taye spun, trying to see who spoke, but the faces around him were hollow, their lips unmoving. It was as though the river itself whispered through their mouth. The goddess came closer, her voice striking him like thunder underwater. Your people thought the offering was enough. They thought a goat and a calabash of palm oil would wash away betrayal. But their grief is deeper than the shallow gift they are bringing to me. Their sons will pay until my wound is healed. A hand brushed the sheet, cold and soft like water. You will pay. Taye clutched his fist. He wanted to shout, to fight, but his voice was stolen. The silence of the water pressed in. He could only weep, the tears vanishing to the river around him. At dawn, the waves of Taye's mother reached the palace. The ballet of Ilaro sat in silence, listening as messengers recounted the scene at the river. The stillness, the boys captured, the coerce. His face darkened. He raised the staff. Summon the high priest, let the gods speak. We must know the truth, echoed the villagers. The entire village gathered in the palace square, their eyes filled with dread. When the high priest arrived, dressed in flowing white with cowries beads clinking at his neck, silence fell over the crowd. He laid the mats in the palace courtyard, sprinkled white chalk, and sat down the sacred kola nuts. He chanted, his voice rising like smoke. Oh, spirit of water, hear us. Oh, goddess of the river, reveal your pain. Why do you drink the souls of Ilaro? He cast the kola nut to the ground. Crash! It landed with a sharp crack, then rolled and stilled. The priest's eyes widened, his body trembled. He turned to the ballet, his voice heavy with awe and fear. The river is not angry without cause, he said. The goddess was betrayed. Long ago, the people of Ilaro wronged her. What you thought was an appeasement was nothing but dust in her eyes. Our wound has not healed. The villager gasped. What betrayal, they cried. What sin? What offense could lead so deep that she takes our son? Rarao. The priest lowered his head, his voice almost breaking. It was not the goddess who failed the people, he said. It was the people who failed the goddess. We are reaping what we sowed. Long ago, there was a famine, he narrated. We went to the river and begged for rain. The goddess promised us water and wealth if we offered sacrifices. For years we obeyed, and our harvest overflowed. But as time passed, we grew fat and forgot our vows. We stopped our offerings. Now she takes our son as payment. This is the wound that has not healed. The blood of that broken covenant stains us still. That is why the river, once our joy, has become a sorrow. of the river, in the cold belly of the river. Taye felt the pressure crushing his chest. River turtle loomed over him. Her large eyes slowly streamed with moons in the sky. Her voice eased in his head. They will never give me what they hold, so I will take you, Taye. You will know it's me. The other boys closer, their hollow faces circling him like ghosts. Some stretched out their arms, their whispers brushing against his ear. Do not fight, we are already ours. Do not resist, it is useless, he said. Taye shook his head violently, tears streaming into the river. He thought of his mother, alone in the hut, crying his name into the night. He thought of her laughter, sacrifices. Oh, he tried to say, but only bubbles escaped his lips. The goddess wrapped her palms around him. Her hairs curled around his body like vines. You are mine, she breathed. The goddess appeared, rising from the depths, a glowing form towering above the villagers. Her eyes blazed like burning lamps. You dare come again with heat, she thundered, her voice shaking the ground. Do you think blood and palm oil can wash away betrayal? Do you people think I have not tasted your lies before? The villagers fell to their knees trembling. Some covered their eyes, others wailed in terror. Priest stood firm, raising his hands. Great mother, grief is just. The wound is true. Punish no longer the innocent. Punish no longer the mothers who never wronged you. Take this up, accept this covenant anew, and let your hearts heal. The goddess formed flickered for a moment. She seemed to waver, turned between wrath and sorrow. Beneath the surface, Taye felt her cold hands trembling on his skin. She looked down at him with piercing eyes, then with a cry that shook the heavens. The villager rushed forward, pulling them to shore, covering them with clothes, praising the gods. The goddess sank back into the river, her voice echoing one last time. Do not betray me again. My eyes will always watch, my water never forgets. The river grew calm small. Taye clung to his mother, both of them weeping, their tears soaking into each other's shoulder. The crowd rejoiced, drum thundered, women elated. The man shouted prayers of thanksgiving. The covenant had been restored. Peace returned to Ilaro, but not without scars. For years afterward, the villagers spoke of what had happened. They spoke of that day in hushed tones. They told their children and their children's children. The river's goddess was not a tale, but a truth she has taken and she had given back. And though Ilaro grew, Christian churches rising, mosques calling the faithful, modern buildings standing tall, the river still flowed at its edge, deep and silent.